All right, please welcome to the stage the hosts of the Roast Battle live weekly podcast, Commissioner Pat Barker and Sarah Keller.
Yeah, that's fair, as it should be. Hey guys, welcome to RBL Weekly. This is a podcast we do every week highlighting the top 5 battles globally from the Roast Battle League. This is the first time we've ever done it live. We're doing it here at the Tokyo Comedy Bar. Make some fucking noise, everybody.
Yeah.
My name is Pat Barker. I am the commissioner of the Roast Battle League, and I'm joined, as always, by the lovely Sarah Keller.
Yeah.
Make it loud for Sarah Keller, everybody.
This is fucking... I don't think it hit me how cool this was until this exact moment right now.
Well, yeah, because you were missing trains for the last 45 minutes.
Dude, so many trains. I think I took 7 to get here.
That's
too many.
What? So I know.
know
I know what were you doing all day? Because I know you. Can you show everybody this shirt?
I did. So I got this shirt in Harajuku. It says Dallas, and then on the back it says because 2021.
Dallas, because 2021, and it appears to be Bugs Bunny on there for no reason.
I saw it and I was like, I definitely need that.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but I think it was $12, and I'm really sorry for the children who made this. Look, I don't know. At least they're still employed, I guess. I don't know. No, okay, too dark.
Can we do sweatshop humor immediately off
I'm
top,
sorry.
or is that too far?
I didn't know. No, so we went back to Harajuku because we were there as a group the other day, but it was raining, and I feel like we didn't get to walk around as much. So I bought a lot of things, including these shoes.
Wow.
Yeah, they're so cushiony. I feel like I'm walking on pillows. It's awesome.
That's unbelievable. We were there the other day, and you undersold it when you said it was raining. We got here, and within 3 days, we've had a hurricane and an earthquake. Did you guys feel the earthquake today?
What? No, I was on 18 trains.
Fair enough. There was one. I felt it. I'm from California. I know what they're like. It was definitely an earthquake, and I checked to make sure.
What was the Richter scale?
It doesn't matter. I was scared.
Aww.
The scale was Pat got scared, and that's
incredible.
That's enough for me. What an amazing weekend it's been. This is the wrap party for ROASTFEST 2023. Make some noise if you've been here the past couple nights and seen the insanity. So it's Sunday today. Friday we had a New Faces of Roast Battle, which we judged.
That was incredible.
I don't know about you. When I came in and they said there's 8 people who have never battled before,
I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. I was doing that thing where I'm like, how am I going to shit on them and be funny, but also make them not want to quit comedy?
Yeah.
Because I anticipated everything being really bad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
It was so good. I am mad because that is the quality that is available out there.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad because it was fucking incredible.
I'm mad because it took me 20 battles to get that good. And then these kids come out of nowhere and we're killing it, and hopefully they come out and do more. Tokyo, obviously a growing scene. To have 8 new people show up and all do great was so cool to see.
Yeah, it made my job judging very easy and also very hard.
Yeah, because you want to shit on it.
You
want, when you're a judge, you're kind of like, I hope some of this sucks, so I could make jokes about it, and then it doesn't. So thanks, guys.
So then you get real nitpicky, and then they're like, and then you're like, no. This is the more specific it is, the harder it was for me to judge you.
Exactly. Yeah. When you kill 4 jokes and we're picking out the one that didn't work, that means you did a great job. And then
if we're speechless, you sucked.
Yeah. And then last night was, of course, the main event, LA versus Tokyo. Just an incredible night. You and I both battled. This was my first time battling internationally, and
yeah, mine too.
I mean, what was your experience like with that?
Oh man, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Especially coming off my last 2 battles, I needed this so bad.
I wasn't going to say anything, but...
No, I might have jumped in front of a train had it not gone the way that it went. No, it was.
It would be the only train you caught today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done. That was
thank
fucking
you.
perfect. Al, that was great. No, it was the like I loved. The audience was like 100% on board, which I was very nervous about because like I've been to places in the U.S. where the audience is like, "Go fuck yourself," like South by Southwest.
Oh yeah, fuck that place.
It's the worst. They don't get it. They don't want to be there.
Yeah.
They don't want you to be mean, and you're like, "Why did you come to roast battle?" The audiences here were the exact opposite. I felt supported and challenged at the same time. It was incredible. How was yours?
Same. I was just blown away by like how, and I commented this on Friday, but like everybody here is so polite, and then to come here and be like, oh, this is the one spot where people get to go and be bloodthirsty maniacs.
Yeah,
it's like the Purge. You know, they're like, we're cool 364 days a year, but tonight we're gonna go insane.
Yes.
So I love Tokyo Comedy
bloodthirsty.
Bar. What's that?
I said they were bloodthirsty.
Big time. It was amazing. I love the comedy bar here. Shout out to everybody who runs this place and runs the roast battle. It's been an incredible week, and we are going to cap it off now with watching some battles from around the world. Now, we've incorporated a couple of live show elements here that we've never done before because we wanted you guys to feel involved. Number one, we have a drinking game. Who's drinking out there? Make some noise.
Woo!
Most of the crowd. If you want to drink, if you want to play the game, but you can't afford a drink, go to the bar and tell them to put it on my tab. I will cover a drink if you don't have one and you would like one.
Hollywood over here.
The yen is performing very poorly. If we're being honest, I think a few years ago I could not have afforded to make this offer. But yeah, for now, if you guys want a drink and you don't have one, go to the bar and get one. Here's the drinking game. We're going to watch these battles, and every time you hear the words, looks like, you take a drink. If a battler says, so-and-so looks like blah, 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 you take a drink. So be listening for the phrase looks like. I would advise a sip of a drink. I would not advise a shot because you will be dead by the end of the fifth battle. Additionally, we have prepared a bingo game. Now, this is something that we've never done before. You guys should all have bingo cards. If you don't, make sure you grab one. And we have taken some of our favorite roast battle go-tos, tropes, things that you hear in a lot of battles, and we set them up on these bingo cards. Be listening for these things, because when you hear them, you check them off, and the first person to get bingo, which is 5 in any direction, you win a prize. We have Roast Battle Tokyo t-shirts to give away. We have Tokyo Comedy Bar merch. We have tickets to upcoming events. A lot of cool stuff. So if you, keep in mind, we are recording a podcast here. So if you win bingo, don't jump up, run up here like it's The Price is Right. Be cool, be chill, maybe hold it up in the air, and we will see you and make sure that you get your thing. Let's go over a couple of these squares here.
I'm just really glad you said that because I 100% would have been like, bingo, in the middle of the show, like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's some Minnesota shit. That's how they do it there.
Dude, have you ever won bingo? It's very exciting.
No, I've never won anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go over a couple of these real quick. Let's use this one so we're looking at the same thing.
Okay.
And we'll take turns going over them. Obviously, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, terrible tragedies, but also kind of funny for a roast. So if you hear a joke about those, you check that one off. Do you want to take the next one?
Sure. If you hear anything about autism, somebody having autism.
A lot of the battlers have autism, and sometimes it comes up.
Wait, so if they make a reference to like... Well, I guess they'd bring up their autism. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, if you say
in
my
any
opponent,
way, shape, or form.
Yeah, if they mention autism, there might be some gray area on some of these. We'll figure it out.
We'll judge.
The next one is if you're here ... That's a setup for a joke. If you're here, then who is molesting kids on the subway or whatever? You know, that was
guarding the bridge.
Yeah, exactly. What's the next one?
If they call a white guy racist or a white lady.
Yeah, mostly a white guy. We get that a lot. If they are reading their jokes off of a phone, that's another one right there. That will happen.
If the host gets confused.
That usually happens when they're not keeping track of the jokes and they try to run up on stage and end the battle too early.
Got it. Okay.
Racial jokes, self-explanatory. You guys get that one.
If it was talking about us, that would be right now, and everyone could check that off. I just got confused.
No, the host of the battles, not the host of the podcast.
you just did January 6th or 9/11?
Well, I did racial joke, but I'll also take January 6th or 9/11. If you hear either one of those, you can check that one off.
If anybody references OnlyFans. In any way.
OnlyFans or Vladimir Putin. And if they reference specifically Vladimir Putin's OnlyFans page, you fill up your entire card and everybody wins.
If there's a joke about a transgender person.
I don't know if you have those in Tokyo, but in other parts of the world, there are things called transgender people, and they battle. And they're generally very, very good at it. You might see one of them tonight. Holocaust joke. You guys remember the Holocaust, right?
I don't know if you're catching a theme here.
Yeah, there's
a lot of tragedy jokes.
Yeah, a lot of fucked up shit you're going to hear tonight.
Fictional character reference, meaning like if somebody says, "Oh, you look like Shrek," or a Disney anything fictional.
Yeah, favorite sex position. One of the go-tos is you look like your favorite sex position is blah, blah, blah.
Joke about somebody being fat.
I don't appreciate those. That should not be a thing.
Or joke about sexual assault, because it's funny.
It's funnier than being fat. That's a very sensitive subject. If the DJ uses a sound effect, you could check that one off.
Joke about someone's dead family member.
A lot of us have dead family members, and people think it's cool to make fun of, and they are right. A reference to a celebrity. If you hear any reference to a celebrity, check that one off.
Comedian is a poor sport and blames the crowd.
Yeah, if your joke doesn't work, it is always the crowd's fault. So make sure you get that one. We have an act out. That is when somebody, does some theatrical shit like this on stage. Exactly. You just want to show off those shoes. I see what you're
really
doing there.
do. There's a chain on them.
Oh, my God. All right. Four more.
Pedophile joke.
Yep, we know what that is. Pedophile, as they say it in some parts of the world. You guys go pedo or pedo? Pedo. Nice. Okay. If you imply that your opponent's significant other is getting fucked by someone else, that is something we'll check off.
If the contestants get... Contestants?
Battlers
get confused. I'm mentally still on a train. If the battlers get confused and to say, whose turn is it? They don't know whose turn it is.
Yep, that happens sometimes. And last but not least, we have XYZ fucked so-and-so, which means if you say, you look like, this person fucked that person, and usually both of those people are ugly.
Yeah.
So listen up for that one. Or your parents are these people, because then the implication is that your parents had sex. Okay, that is the game. Are we ready to watch some battles? Are we ready to play?
Let's do it.
It's going to be great. We have some special guests from Tokyo popping in to join us for a little guest commentary. Let's start with the number 5 battle this week. This comes to us from London. Roast Battle London has been going on for many, many years. Officially the leader in our international division. Tokyo is playing catch-up. And this week, number 5 battle comes to us from London. This is Helen K. against Drew Stearns. Let's check it out.
Battle. Now bring it up. Are we going to Helen K and Drew? Hello, everyone. This little ray of sunshine here is Helen, or what it looks like when your Russian mail-order bride arrives after her sell-by date.
Should have paid for express postage. Drew is so boring. He could get away with any crime. Not just because you couldn't pick him up out of a lineup, but also because nobody would ever call him a person of interest.
Helen looks like she has a very affordable OnlyFans page.
I wish I had fans. Well, Drew looks like every upper middle manager who says goodbye before he leaves the office just so you can see him in a cycling lycra.
I do look good in shorts. Helen rides a motorcycle to help with her depression and her anger issues. When she does that, she's fast and furious, emotional drift.
When I spoke to Drew ahead of this battle, he did not bring up his 2 beautiful children. In fact, those kids are so cute, I reckon not only did he not bring them up, he also didn't father them.
Helen was born in Siberia, but in 2021 became a British citizen. Yes. She was worried that she wouldn't fit in this country, but despite having resting bitch everything, underneath she is intelligent, kind, and helps out in her community. So she definitely won't fit in this country.
Drew looks like a guy you might see on the news after they dismember and eat their wife. And then his friends get interviewed and they say, wow, I would never have guessed that he was married.
It's been said that having sex with Helen is like Putin attacking Ukraine with a navy, in that it's ill-advised, it's evil, and frankly, a waste of perfectly good semen.
Drew's children do not remember the face of their father. He didn't abandon them, he just has no identifiable features.
That's our 5. Thanks very much.
Okay, so it was number 5 for a reason. Fun battle. I think before we get into talking about it a little bit, I want to bring up a special guest. One of Japan's finest comics right now battled last night, had one of the greatest battles I've ever seen. Little bit better than the one we just watched. We're going to talk to him about both of them, but we're bringing him up because he is a British gentleman, and despite what his name might say, he is British. Give it up for Jay Yamaki. Come on, keep it going for Jay Yamaki, everybody.
Yay!
Jay, grab that stool. Pull it up here.
Hello, guys.
Hello. Hello.
Are you on?
I hope so. Am I on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. Before we start, I just want to say, and we have a lot going on here. We asked you guys to do a lot of homework. There were 4 looks like jokes. So if you didn't catch all of them, make sure, take a big sip right now because there were 4 of them, okay? I saw some of you furiously going for your bingo cards at OnlyFans and Putin. Jay, welcome,
Yes.
welcome to the show, man. It's
Thank
good to have you here. I know you didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night.
No, I got 3 hours. so-
Why?
Just you
Riding
know,
the high?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it after last night's battle. Fucking dream come true. Paige Wesley, like huge fan of Paige Wesley over there, and she fucking nailed me to a wall, but in the funnest possible way, you know. It was great.
Well, you guys did a thing, and we'll talk about this at some point.
Sure, yeah.
Sure. But you guys did a thing last night where they were like, yeah, we just let them choose how many jokes they want to do. And you guys were like, let's do 7 instead of 5. And then you did like 30.
Yeah.
You guys, I assume some of you saw it. You were here. It went on forever.
Yeah.
And I was waiting because I was next. And I'm like, when are they going to stop crushing?
Never.
And the answer was never. Did you know going in that it might go like that? It might just be back and forth the whole time?
Not at all. But I think what helped is because, like, Paige and I spoke quite a bit before, like via Instagram, right? So we actually exchanged a lot of information. We seemed to get on quite well, and I think that really helps, you know, because I've gone against people I don't know so well, and we're kind of like, I don't get this guy's vibe. He doesn't quite get mine, and it doesn't really quite work out. But Paige was like, oh, hey, how's it going? I have OCD. No way. I eat a lot. Oh. It was just nice. It was really nice. So.
Yeah, it's you guys clearly were having a lot of fun up there, and I think you're touching on obviously the spirit of roast battle, which is you only roast the ones you love. But I think there's even one more element to that, like then not just being good friends, but you also have to trust each other a lot on stage. And I think you guys really showed that last night, because in order to have that back and forth, and with Paige's self-deprecation and then your self-deprecation, like you guys have to really trust each other to fire it back, and it fucking blew the roof off. So, was so good.
Feel free to applaud, guys.
Yeah, we don't. Sometimes there's no question. We just want to tell him how great he is.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely incredible. Now, let's talk about the battle that we just watched. Our British correspondent Jay Yamaki is here to talk about that. You just talked about the chemistry, right?
Yeah,
You could see it when you and Paige were up there. You know, Jeff Ross, the roast master from America. Yeah. He's been judging these battles for 10 years, and he often says, and he would have said last night had he been here, it was like you two were dancing up there.
Yeah.
Right. You know, because like a good dance, like you have to lead and follow and everything like that. And that was not exactly the vibe we got from this battle. I thought solid joke writing. Yeah. I thought Drew, had some really funny stuff. Helen had a couple good punches, but to me, Drew took it. But there didn't seem to be sort of that chemistry there. What did you think?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Was there a difference in experience, maybe? He seemed a bit more experienced than Helen did. Because Helen, to me, I think she had she could have a really fun character going, but it's almost like she doesn't know quite how to lean into it yet. That kind of like monotone, kind of sardonic, kind of just chill kind of vibe. But it also kind of came across at some points as maybe a bit of nervousness, like looking directly back down at her book.
I would very much agree with that. I think you nailed it. I couldn't put my finger on it exactly, but you're right. Like, because the jokes she was saying in the demeanor she was saying them was so funny.
Yeah.
But looking down and having that lost connection and that insecurity, she needed to have that like monotone, delivering these horrible jokes in a very like killer way. And very astute observation, sir.
And also preparation. We see that a lot. In LA, it was always frowned upon to use your phone or to use your notes or anything like that. So we had to memorize the jokes. And for me, that's kind of the most stressful part of roast battle. You're so worried about forgetting your material. Yeah. And I only did 5 jokes. And you did 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that process like for you when you don't have kind of that safety net and you just have to go up there and memorize it all?
Oh, it's awful. It's the worst part for me is the memorizing. Yeah. The creating the jokes is so much fun, trying to come up with different angles and like the creative process. I love it, and I love being on stage. But that part in between where you have to kind of just like, it was my wife actually who taught me the best thing, which is just repeat. So that even if you forget, even if you fall inside your own head and you're kind of just watching yourself on the stage, your body just naturally, the words just come out because you've rehearsed it so much,
100%. And when you say repeat, you mean actually saying the words out loud, not just in your head.
Standing up, performing them. Don't just kind of go over it. I used to go over in my head and I used to forget on stage.
Yep, 100%.
So I always run my jokes out loud about 15 to 20 times in my apartment. And every 2 months, my neighbors must think I hate a different ethnic group of people. Because they're like, oh, he's saying wild racist shit again, but it's black people this time. I don't know.
Neighbors, right?
Yeah. Are you worried that your neighbors are like, oh, he's fat phobic for sure?
Oh no, they're all racist Japanese people. They don't care about me.
I've been picking up on that. That's the thing out here, right?
Yeah, racism. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know. You've heard of racism, right? Americans.
How did you pronounce it?
Racism. Yeah. In Japan, it's more of an L, but
Can't turn it off.
I actually had a question. You were talking about preparing and writing jokes. So I want to know how many. I'll start by saying this about myself. A lot of times when you do a comeback, the audience thinks that you just came up with it off the cuff. But you didn't. You anticipated it. You thought, okay, I know, for example, I was molested. Hopefully he talks about that. So now I'm going to have a comeback. You know what I mean? But because I'm an amazing performer, the audience thinks that it was off the dome, and it wasn't. How many of yours were off the dome last night, and how many were prepared? Or percentage?
I think maybe 2 or 3 were prepared.
Really?
And then the rest were just...
shit.
But I realized that actually what helped with that is because with a lot of battles, you kind of go in for different angles, and it's kind of a lot to keep in your head at once.
Yeah.
But with Paige, there came a point, the intro that I did was like, I can only think of fat jokes. Everything leads to fat jokes. And that was true. and it actually kind of helped me with the comebacks because the theme was the same thing.
Right.
And rightly or wrongly, it was just another fat joke come out,
And also, when you look like that, you know what people are going to say.
Right. Yeah.
Although she didn't do Jesus, which I was expecting. Jesus, Weird Al Yankovic,
Kenny G.
Russell Bland.
Russell Bland, thank you. Yes.
Russell Bland.
Harry Metcalf. That's Harry.
Was
Metcalf.
Russell Bland a pun, or is that just how they pronounce it in Japan?
Oh, nope. It was a fun.
Someone wants new neighbors again.
So let me ask you this, and then we'll let you get out of here.
Sure.
And I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
There were so many incredible jokes said about you last night, and I know sometimes after the battle, you black out for the battle and you don't remember anything. Do you remember anything from the battle? And if so, what was the favorite thing that she said about you?
The very first thing that she said is my new favorite joke. Sorry, Harry, your Russell Bland joke was amazing, but when when Paige said this, it looks like when he has sex. No, he refers to sex. What is it?
Oh.
Go on. Yeah. I like I'd call sex swashbuckling. How amazing is that? Just the word swashbuckling.
It's so good. Yeah.
And I am going to call it that from now on. Thank you. But yeah, that was so much fun.
I feel so bad for the next woman you have sex with.
So
You're
do
married,
I. But pardon?
You're married, right? Did you say
Yeah.
wife? Okay.
I have a wife.
Well,
Are you going to do some Jack Sparrow role
think I
play
see
or
you-
something now?
I think I say, are you going to do your wife? This has gone weird, guys. We should have ended it a minute ago.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Swashbuckling!
the best time was a minute ago. The second best time is right now. Give it up for Jay
Thank you,
Yamaki, everybody. And now we move on to the number 4 battle of the week, and this came from the aforementioned show on Friday night right here at the Tokyo Comedy Bar. 2 people who had never done this before, and frankly, the story is a little bit even crazier than that. We'll get into it in a minute. I was blown away by this battle. Number 4 battle this week. This is Hal versus Yasushi from Tokyo. Here it is. Let's check it out.
Let's hear it. Harry Potter, go! Let's roast!
Yasushi is half Japanese and half Korean. As you can see, he's really good at cultural appropriation, like K-pop. He's half Korean, half Japanese, and as you can see, he's really idealist, right? So he has been unemployed for 1 year. In Korea, he would be in Squid Game. In Japan, he's just a parasite.
Yeah, actually, I'm half Japanese, but he's half funny Japanese. He also looks like a teenage serial killer, and the victim of that serial killer, but who just woke up their first wet dreams. And he said his friends described him as strange, stoned, weird, and wait, how? They are not friends, they are undercover cops.
Yasushi is a Korean and unemployed. So he has a lot of stored energy inside, and I'm keeping my distance from him, in case he's explode like a Samsung battery.
Last March, Haru quit his job, but then he got a new job straight away because he missed the commute, daily commute, like sniffing girls and ejaculating silently in the train. And he's from Niigata. Niigata is one of the coldest region and desolated area, and the most female suicides in Japan. Moving to Tokyo was the first time having sex with a warm body.
You're half Japanese and half Korean. Teach me double suicidal, right? Okay. Yasushi is unemployed. Yasushi is unemployed. Yasushi is unemployed. So I can I remember Yasushi is unemployed. His girlfriend pays for their meals, which means Yasushi has sex in return for a meal. And Yasushi has volunteer work feeding stray cats. So Yasushi, are you fucking with cats?
Well, thanks for introducing me as a animal-loving, caring person. If Japan remakes the movie The Joker, I will recommend him as a lead role because he has creepy smiles, sad vibes, and never will be a good comedian. And to how tight 5 is not 5 minutes with tight jokes, but 5-year-old kid with tight holes.
Oh, it was even better the second time.
So good. So good. Before we talk about it, we got the guys here tonight, man. Let's bring them up. Give it up for Helen and Yasushi.
Woo!
Come on up, guys. This is poorly organized. Grab that stool, grab those mics. We're going to make it work. We'll fix it all in post. Give it up one more time for Hal and Yasushi, everybody. So let me start. I have one question. Yasushi, I heard a rumor you're unemployed. Is that?
That was my favorite.
Yes. Yes, definitely yes.
That was my favorite. The moment your brain just broke and shut down, kind of in the middle of the battle. What happened? You just forgot that joke. You were blanked.
Yes, actually, I forgot and inside just unemployed Yasushi.
Honestly, I thought that was the joke. I thought you were just going to shame him by telling him he was unemployed over and over again. Because every time you said it, it was funnier and I laughed harder. And I was like, yeah, you loser.
Well, you know the funny thing, that's also a cultural difference because in America, the roast battles, because everybody in Hollywood is like trying to make it. And they're unemployed and we're proud of it. So like in America, it's like, oh, he drives for Uber. Oh, he does this. Like that's the topic of a joke. This loser has a job.
Yeah.
And out here, it's exactly the opposite. Outstanding battle, guys. So fun. I'm just going to get this out of the bag. First things first. I talked to you guys after the battle, and you told me that you've been doing comedy in English for 9 months.
What?
Yes.
Which is incredible. But then I asked you, how long have you been speaking English? And you said 9 months.
What? Oh, my God.
So you guys, you were doing comedy in Japanese, is that correct?
Only me. Now he's concentrating on doing English only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So let's go one by one. Let's go Hal first. So what made you 9 months ago decide I'm gonna learn English and immediately dive into one of the scariest possible things I can do with the English language, which is stand-up comedy?
I really I had interest into comedy right after the incident of Chris Rock smacked incident in Academy. So it's broadcasted in Japan also. So I interested to stand up and comedian. Why he was smacked? So I want to do that.
I love that. You saw somebody get hit, and you're like, I'm gonna do that. Incredible.
And just studying English, and I quit job. And I'd like to change current job. Yeah, that's at the time my motivation.
Okay.
And Yasushi, I know you had said to me you were doing comedy in Japanese, but it's just different in English in terms of the crowd response and everything like that. Is that accurate? What was your experience like?
Is it working? Oh, okay. A little bit different. And it's difficult because, of course, stand-up comedy in English has many references. English has history references, good comedians, legends. But in Japan, we don't have any references. No, we are making references. We are making history right now.
Ah.
Yeah, tough challenge, but it's very worth doing it. Yeah.
That's insane. I thought I felt like I can't imagine writing jokes in a different language. Like I had a hard time writing jokes about football, and I speak English.
We worked on a football show together in America, and every week before the show, she would be like, "Is a touchdown a football thing? What is that? How does that?"
Yeah, it was, and I was like, "This is hard. This is like writing jokes in a different language. I don't understand." And like, no, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I'm so impressed.
Yeah, I was blown away. Another thing that I wanted to ask you guys about: everybody in Japan is so polite, so nice. That is the stereotype. I've been here 3 days. It's real. Everybody is the nicest person I've ever met. It seems like it would be against your intuition to get up there and say mean things about each other. What was that like? Was it nice to finally let go and say awful shit about your friends?
That politeness is only on the surface.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys know, yeah?
You'd fit in LA. We need to get you out there. Yeah, we have that in common. The fake nice thing. You're Hollywood. You have that written all over you. What do you think, Hal?
Yeah, I agree him. Actually, Japan did a Pearl Harbor, so we are really brutal. Yes.
Yeah, we did a Korean invasion. Yeah, and China invasion.
Sure.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I like how he says we did it. You didn't do that shit. Now, do you have another question for these guys?
I wanted to know what about roast battle you found exciting. Like, what made you want to do a roast battle? Either Hal?
It's for fun. I don't know.
That's a great answer.
That's a fantastic answer. Yes. Was it fun? Did you have fun?
In Japan, publicly, we couldn't insult someone. So, roast battle is a public insult. So, it's a great opportunity, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, almost say that. I have almost same the answer. But yeah, so when I was writing roast jokes, I felt ecstasy. Yeah. I'm allowed to write most harsh material, and I can say in front of people, insult someone in front of me. Fucking pleasure.
Yeah.
Just pleasure. Yeah.
I mean,
I need more.
yeah.
So you're going to battle again?
Sure.
Yes, I love that. Last question. Why did you dress up like Harry Potter? There was no payoff to the bit. It was never explained. You just dressed up like Harry Potter, acted like you didn't, and just insulted him normally.
Basically, doing stand-up comedy, the first opening joke is, hello everyone, my name is Yasushi, I know what you're thinking. And I mentioned Japanese Harry Potter, so I used that prep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's strategy. That's 4D chess right there. Like, he can't call me Harry Potter if I'm dressed like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Respect, bro. Well done.
Love
Well
that.
done. I love the battle. Thank you guys for
So
doing
good.
this, and I hope you guys both come back and battle again. 9 months speaking English, and you're up there killing it. You should be very proud of yourselves. Give it up one more time for Hal and Yasushi. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
They had better jokes than LA battlers that have been speaking English their entire lives.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
100%. And if you're keeping score in the drinking game, there were no looks like jokes in that one because, and I might be an ignorant American, they both kind of look the same. All right, let's keep it moving now. Go to the number 3 battle. This one comes to us from New York City. This is a fun one. This is Gabby Jordan Brown taking on Sunny LaPrade. Let's check it out.
We go first. Roast battle. Let's go.
Gabby Jordan Brown, more like flabby whore with downs.
Thank you, you Wallace and Gromit looking ass bitch. Okay, Sunny has transitioned twice. She's gone from male to female, and now she's going from woman to horse. She doesn't take hormones, she just chomps carrots and sugar cubes.
Yo, crazy coming for my appearance with those shoulders.
What's wrong with my shoulders?
Bitch, you pass less than I do. Gabby's parents are rich, but that makes sense considering that her mom is Grimace and her dad is the Hamburglar.
Well, now I sound mean saying, okay, girl who can't move out of her ex-girlfriend's apartment, give it up for No Money LaPrade. Sunny is 23, which is shocking for someone who looks like the composite of every lunch lady ever.
Thank you, Lena, no fun Gabby, ice called, they want their poor treatment of Hispanic women back. Yeah, Gabby seeks out women from broken homes. Her partners seek out women with busted faces.
Hey, Sunny, remember when you told a girl you loved her and she replied, nice weather we're having? That was crazy. Okay, I think we can all agree trans people deserve access to the care that's best for them. That's why I think it's time for Sunny to be allowed to do the compassionate thing and finally kill herself.
Gabby, I would tell you to kill yourself, but it's probably faster to just let heart disease do its thing. Gabby says that she sees most men as objects, which is perfect considering that most men object to seeing Gabby at all.
Sunny majored in humor studies in college and now lives with her ex-girlfriend who has screaming sex with a gay man every night. Sunny, you literally live in a Fox News satire of liberal America. Now the only thing more useless than your diploma is your tiny neglected dick.
Thank you for taking time off of starring in a commercial for gout medication to be here. Gabby has a face for radio and a body for before pictures.
Sunny is usually the name of an Indian man. And although this Sunny is a woman, she's a lot like an Indian man. Ugly. Dependent on her mother. And hung up on the only woman she's ever fucked.
That was so mean.
That's one of the interesting things about roast battle is you never know quite what the crowd is gonna get into. And we've seen it get too mean. That was like at the line of how mean you can get and still do well.
I think the thing that kept it behind the line was that they were clearly very good friends. Like, you could tell by their chemistry on stage, but also by the specificity of the jokes and like how inside they were. You're like, oh, they know each other way too well.
Yeah.
And I think that that like makes the audience feel a little bit more safe when they're that mean.
Yeah, I agree. I also love that we can check off racial joke in a battle between two white people. Indian men caught a stray at the end there. That came out of nowhere. She was like, "Let me take a shot at all the Indian men out there." One thing in the battle that I found interesting was when Sonny did the joke about Gabby's shoulders, and you could see Gabby be like, "Oh fuck, do I have weird shoulders?"
Yes, 100%.
Like every now and then you see that in a band. I felt it on stage where somebody hit something that you didn't know was a thing, and the crowd goes crazy, and you're like, "Oh, now I have one other thing to be insecure about."
Well, yeah. What was it for you, Pat?
I did a battle one time and against this guy JP McDade from New York, very very funny, and his opening joke was, "Pat, it looks like somebody drew you while they were riding a horse." And I didn't know what it meant, but everybody went fucking crazy. And then I had this existential crisis where I'm like, does that mean I look shaky with poorly drawn lines? Like, what does that even... I had like a panic attack, and I still had to do 5 jokes. But I was too busy questioning what that meant. And it was a brand new way of calling me ugly that I've never had before. It was Have you had one of those?
Yeah, Jasmine Lee said I had a big forehead, and I was like, "Oh crap!" Like you. I was so taken aback. I was like, "I do? Oh shoot!" But then I couldn't say anything to her other than like, "Well, we have the same size forehead."
Right. Yeah.
And then it ended up into a forehead measuring contest on stage. I am not making this up. But clearly, this was 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I still remember it.
Every day you wake up and look in the mirror.
And I measure it to make sure it's the same size.
That's hilarious. What do you think, guys? Sarah, big forehead, small forehead, average size?
Okay, thank you.
Average. Don't listen to those people. They're just trying to make you feel better. It's fucking massive.
Fuck you.
No, my hairline starts like up here now. I have no room to talk. No, I mean it was. I thought it was a really. It was a fun battle, back and forth. They were both landing punches. We've seen Gabby on the podcast before. I think that was my first time seeing Sonny. I think my favorite joke of the battle wasn't even a joke, but when Gabby said, "Sonny, remember when you told a girl that you loved her?" And she replied, "Nice weather we're having." Yes. That was my favorite thing because that's the kind of thing that has to haunt Sonny. Yeah. Like forever. And it's sometimes you don't need I don't even think she attempted a punchline. She just moved on to something else. Yeah. Yeah. It was like, "Hey, I just want to remind you."
just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the best jokes, the ones that cut super deep. Only one looks like joke on that. I want to prep everybody. If you want to drink, the next 2 battles are going to be good for you. So make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you have your drinks. Before we get to the next 2, JJ, do you want to take a break, or should we just launch right into the next 2? Let's just keep going, everybody. Make some fucking noise. We're going to keep going right now. And this is going to be the number 2 battle this week. We're going to bring up another special guest to help us analyze this one. This was actually a title match in LA. Our champion, Kelsey Lane, who won the belt, defended it a couple times, trying to defend it a 3rd straight win as champion against a roast battle legend, a good friend of ours named Doug Fager. And a lot of times title matches are very, very weird. They have a weird, overly competitive energy. This one, I think, was a lot of fun. It was competitive and harsh, but I really enjoyed it. It's your first time seeing it, right?
Yeah. I was here during it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You left a day early to get into here. So it's going to be your first time seeing it. Same for you guys. Championship match from LA, number 2 battle this week. Kelsey Lane, Doug Fager. Here it is.
Kelsey Lane is to comedians what Kelsey Lane is to hot girls. Barely one.
That's emotional.
The pot calling the kettle half, huh?
Hot crowd.
Doug looks like a prince that would rescue you from a dungeon just to put you in a more uncomfortable dungeon.
Kelsey's dad is a heroin addict who she hasn't seen in years. But he lives in Las Vegas, so I got in touch with him and invited him to the show tonight. Everyone, say hello to Kelsey's dad, Tom. Tom, come on up. Tom, come on up. Tom? No. He went to do drugs again, didn't he? Oh my God, Kelsey, oh my God. I am so sorry that I did this to you. Oh my God, he did it to you again. This must be so re-traumatizing. He just loves the heroin so much. The brown beast, the skag, he just loves it so much more than his daughter, Kelsey. Oh my God. Oh, but wait, but maybe he just left because he didn't want to see you get beat tonight. Because beating you was always his job.
That's a roller coaster.
Yeah. My family. Jeez, Doug. Your brother's dead. Brother, he died of food poisoning from bad chicken. So I guess choking on cock runs in the family. It's not found with the woman, huh?
How long do you want to go?
Oh, really?
Great point. You have another 45 minutes on your show.
Doug looks like a cop that just got promoted for tweeting the N-word.
Thank you. That's right, my brother did die eating food. Well, Kelsey's going to die serving it. Kelsey looks like she uses taquitos for tampons.
It burns a little on top, but other than that, it works.
You should bury that next to my brother.
Speaking about serving, Doug got fired from Umami Burger. He just kept whipping his dick out and yelling, "Umami!"
Into a paying comedy career. Shame on me.
Do you mean driving for Uber?
Kelsey's a lot like an Uber because she would never be rated above a 5. Kelsey fucks her boyfriend in the ass with a strap on.
Yes.
So her penis is a lot like her personality. Fake and shitty.
I do fuck my boyfriend in the ass because Doug has been begging me to since he found out about it.
Depends on who wins. Either way.
Doug's dad was an amateur boxer. But that's just, he got so good from years of trying to beat the gay out of Doug.
Glad you're wearing leather tonight because it's clear you're uncomfortable in your own skin. Yikes. No, thank you, Mommy. Kelsey is hot enough to fuck, but not hot enough to hang out with afterwards. Just ask her parents.
My parents did leave, but so is fix your hair.
I'm your type then.
No, you're not.
Thank God.
Doug does yoga so that when the women he's assaulting beg him to stop, he's like, nah, I'm a rape. Oh my God.
Let's go! Hey, that's the main event. Keep it going. One more time. The challenger goes back. Hey, you're still the champ. He's still the challenger. Doug, you're still up first. Let's roast!
Both of Kelsey's parents are drug addicts. It looks like they left you for a crack pipe and dropped you on a half pipe.
Finish him!
It's a lot of pipes. Nah.
Doug is 37, single, and has a tree house in his backyard.
Dope.
Jesus. He also is so self-centered, I can't even finish the fucking joke.
It's like your boyfriend's
Seriously,
balls. They
shut
get
the
stepped all over.
Kill him!
Seriously, I once asked Doug if he would suck a dick for $1,000, and he said he'd be willing to pay $2 if it was circumcised.
One more time!
Okay, so
It was a weird ending, though.
very weird
Yeah.
ending. Very weird ending. To overall, I thought a really, really fun battle. I saw a couple people hold up their bingo cards. There was a lot going on in that battle. I want you guys to keep filling them out because the two people who have raised their hands are Jay Yamaki and my wife, both of whom have no use for free tickets to this club.
But hold on, your wife is giving you "I'm gonna fucking murder you if you don't let me win" eyes right now. Like I'm scared, and I'm just sitting next to you.
I've got bad news for her. Before we get into this battle, I want to bring up our last special guest for the evening. She battled Jay Yamaki last night in a battle that I am pretty confident you will be seeing in a very good position on next week's episode of RBL Weekly. For anyone who hasn't seen it, you got to wait a week. For those who have, you know you witnessed something legendary last night. Please welcome Paige Wesley.
Rampage. Both of them. Yeah, I wanted to watch Paige do the whole.
Push the thing.
All right.
Hey, Paige Wesley, everybody, give it up for
me.
her.
All right.
Whoa. Nice save
Hi,
in the
guys.
front
Yeah.
row.
Well,
Nicely
yes.
done. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome to the show. Paige, we kind of talked about your battle a little bit earlier. I don't want to dwell on it because everybody's going to see it. But can you just talk about, before we get into this real quick, what has your experience been like judging, performing stand-up, and battling here in Tokyo?
It's been amazing. It's been very, very fun. It's always kind of a mixed bag as to who's in the audience. So I was nervous the whole time that none of my jokes were going to hit. Like my first, I had like nightmares leading up to the trip. I'm like, no one's going to come. And then it was like standing room only. I was like, okay, people came, but they're not going to laugh at anything. And I was wrong. So that's good. It's good to be wrong in those situations, I think. So
Yeah, absolutely. Packed out crowds. Just an insane weekend. All three shows.
yeah.
I was just so blown away by everything. I can't wait till the world gets to see the battle. What else do you have planned for your Tokyo trip? You got a couple more days.
We're doing Tokyo Disney tomorrow. Yeah. Sarah's been waiting for it the whole time. And then I think just kind of shopping and eating as many delicious things as I can before I have to go home.
What's been the best thing you've eaten so far?
We went to this ramen place. They had ramen. I had like Chinese fried chicken and gyoza, and it was amazing. Like,
Was that around here?
It was over by our Airbnb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sangenjaya neighborhood. I think it was called like Kendamoro Zen or something like that. If you guys know it, if you haven't been there, please, literally like a life-changing kind of meal.
Oh, so good.
All right.
So good. Paige has also been taking daily trips to 7-Eleven to load
Hell
up
yeah.
on bizarre Japanese snacks.
Yes.
Like anybody can eat good ramen, but
Of course.
Paige is like, let me find the avocado flavored Doritos.
They were so good.
Yeah.
It's avocado and cheese.
So it's like guacamole, kind of.
No,
No.
it tastes completely different.
Okay.
It should taste like guacamole. It does not. But it's somehow better. I can't, yeah. I've basically been going to 7-Eleven every morning and being like, what are the weird shit gods going to bring me today? And then I've just been documenting it on Instagram. And then today I decided I was going to do a new thing and take pictures of every fun little guy I found.
Oh, yes.
And I forgot that Japan has mascots for everything. And so I thought it was going to be like 4 or 5 fun pictures of cute little things. And now there's like 40 or something on my story for today, where I'm sure people who normally like watch it are just like, what is she doing? Like,
Did you see the one that's in the train? Because I spent a lot of time on trains. There's, like, on the glass, there's a bunny that stuck his arm through the glass, and it's like a stuffed bunny with a bloody stump for an arm.
yes. Oh, yeah. No, okay. So
It's like the most adorably upsetting thing I've seen.
It's the warning to not try and get through the doors.
Yeah.
And there's multiple of them,
Yeah.
Sarah, where one of them, a bunny is shoving a carrot through and it chops the carrot in half. You guys are vicious with your cartoons, man. No, my favorite was we took pictures of some of the ones we saw on the trains, posted them, and then people who listen to my podcast messaged me and are like, hey, bitch, those have names and like character descriptions, and sent them, and they were all on diets. Why do your cartoons need to be on diets? They're fake. Like, we draw them. Just draw them thinner. This is... Sorry. Doesn't make sense to me.
Too much 7-Eleven.
A little bit.
Too much
I'm high.
creamy, puffy chocolate goodness balls or whatever the
I'm
fuck
high on that butter flavored bread, yo.
butter flavored
Flavored bread. It's good. It shouldn't be that good. What's in it? I don't know. Bread, butter flavoring.
Speaking of bread, Doug Fager versus Kelsey Lane.
Yeah.
What a transition, folks.
Thank you. Yeah.
2 white bread, boring Americans. Yeah.
Absolutely. You were actually a judge
I
for
judged that battle. Yeah.
You judged that battle.
I
Now,
did.
there's some context missing here. There was an overtime. This
Yes.
did end up going to overtime, and the editor from LA just didn't think that was important to include in the video.
It
so
drastically altered the who won. Like, I couldn't believe they didn't include it. It was wild. If you were here, do you want me to just tell the story of what happened a little bit?
Let's get into it. Yeah.
Do it. So if you were here last night and you saw Jay and I battle, something kind of similar happened in the overtime of this battle, where Jay and I went to overtime. We told one joke, but then we ended up with rebuttals, and that, got factored in. In this battle, they went to overtime. Doug told his joke, and it went okay. Like, it went well, right? Going first in an overtime is always kind of a death sentence because people laugh at you, but they don't know how good the next joke's going to be. So it's almost like they reserve some. It's tough. So Kelsey went to go tell her joke, and then Doug interrupted her because he thought it would be funny, and the crowd turned.
Yeah.
And not only the crowd, judges turned too, where people were like, not okay. Like, you have to give her a fair shot to get her joke out. And she ended up telling a completely different joke. So we have no idea what the first joke would have been. If she had just told it, if he hadn't interrupted her, he might have won. We don't know. But because he interrupted her, the crowd was like, boo, like, no. And so Kelsey ended up taking it and continuing to hold her title. Yeah.
Interesting. That actually touches on something that I feel very strongly about, and I'd love to know your opinion on it, Paige. I think that chivalry in a battle is incredibly important. I think that there is an etiquette and a decorum. You let your opponent finish. If they're struggling, I personally think you are patient with them and you let them get their joke out for the most part. Obviously, if they're losing the audience and you need to save that moment, there's that part of it. But I've battled people that will interrupt your joke or step on the laughter, and to to me, that's just competitive, and yeah, I don't like that. So I feel very strongly that people should be chivalrous. What is your stance on it?
I would usually err on the side of chivalry. I've had it a few different ways with people like forgetting jokes. I had it once where a girl forgot a joke and I just gave her the time. I was like, take the time you need. And then she got cheered on and I ended up losing the battle because of it, because I was chivalrous. So then the next time it happened, I got 2 more jokes in while the person forgot their joke, and then I lost that battle because they thought I was an asshole. So
you can't win.
You can't win. But those are unique circumstances. Usually, I would say yes, let someone say their joke and at least finish it. As for stepping on laughs, I say that's fair game.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's fair game. The laugh is happening. If I can at least loudly enough get in a rebuttal to turn the laugh to my side, that's me. That I can win that one. There are a lot of things you can do to take the laugh someone else got and turn it to your favor. And that is one of them. And they did get their joke out and they did get the laugh. Did they keep it? That's, you know what? Hey, maybe they did, maybe they didn't.
So the strategy to beat Paige Wesley is to forget your jokes.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you do.
Yeah, forget your jokes, because I clearly can't win it either way. Either I stand there and I'm polite and I'm like, no, it's fine. We're all friends here. Or I'm just like, oh, you forgot it? And they're like, that bitch. How dare she?
Now let's just jump into the obvious question, because we say so often in roast battle, it doesn't matter who wins and loses.
No.
And it truly doesn't.
Yeah,
it's all. I would much rather have an outstanding battle where we both crush than a battle where I win and it's kind of shitty on everybody's part, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is a title match. This
Yeah.
is for a championship. So this is the one time today where I feel like winning and losing means something. And I want to get the opinions of everybody in the room. Let's start with the crowd. Just based on that footage, make some noise if you thought Kelsey Lane won that battle.
Interesting.
You forgot it already.
I'm not gonna lie.
We gave them bingo cards, and everybody's like, we're just listening for bingo things.
I'm not gonna lie. I 100% expected someone to say that.
That
they forgot.
Yeah, it's the bingo cards. Then fuck you guys. Let's.
I can tell you about how the room felt that night if you want, because all of the judges were unanimous after regulation, basically after what you just saw. All 3 judges said we needed one more joke because Doug had started out bombing a joke, which most people forgot by the end of that battle. Yeah. He turned the tide. People forgot that for the first 2 jokes of that battle, Kelsey had it.
Yep.
And he brought it back around, and she closed weak. So for us, we were like, you had one person open strong and one person close strong, equal footing. We need one more to decide. So that's why it went to one more joke, and it was unanimous. So, yeah.
That was something when I heard Doug's first joke that stuck out to me right away. If I were Doug, I would not have chosen that for the first joke. It is a bold choice. I've seen Doug battle a million times. I know how the crowd perceives him. He is a tall, straight white male, and the audience is immediately like, fuck you. So to open with "you're ugly" to a woman that is not ugly is a fucking bold choice. And I saw it happen the way that I would have expected it to, which was the audience was like, dude, it was a good joke, but like, nah, didn't like it.
Yeah, honestly, as super attractive guys, we have a lot to fight against in the roast battle. And,
guys like us have a tough time.
It's an uphill battle. I'm not gonna lie. So you stand by, even after watching it on film, you stand by the decision. You feel like the OT was warranted.
I feel like the OT was warranted. Had Doug's first joke done better, I would have given it to Doug.
Sarah Keller, what were your thoughts?
Well, I wasn't in the room, so I'm just watching off the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Doug took it by a smidge. But I also didn't have the hatred for him that the audience probably did in the beginning, because I know both of them, and I know like he doesn't actually feel that misogynistic way about her.
Yeah. I think it played different. I was in the room. I feel like it played a little bit differently on camera. In the room, I agreed with the decision to go one more. Watching him back, I felt like Doug won. I thought Kelsey's best moments were kind of like off the cuff shit when she hit him on being like an Uber driver. When he tried to claim that like I'm a working comedian, which we all know is bullshit. That's
We do.
absolute.
I think my favorite off the cuff moment is
He's
when yeah, he's employed. How dare he? But when he interrupted her during the battle and then did it again in overtime.
Yeah.
So he was on thin ice. During the battle when he interrupted her and was like, "How long are you gonna go?" Right after doing the longest joke on earth. The crowd cheered for her to be like, really? Like, there was animosity in the beginning of the battle, which it kind of made it impressive that he turned it around.
Yeah.
But the first half, they did not like him.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I liked his. She was more likable, I think. And I think she controlled the tempo and tone of the battle. I liked his material more. People don't realize when you're likable on stage, it's so much easier to get away with jokes that maybe aren't as good in a roast battle. I'm just going to say it. I love Kelsey Lane. I think she has been killing it recently. That umami burger joke is one of the worst jokes I've ever heard. Yeah. I did not care for that one at all. The rest of her material I love, but the place went nuts for that one. Absolutely. Watching it back, I thought Doug got it, but in the room, it was so palpable, the likability factor and everything. So I get the OT. Kelsey Lane did retain the title in OT. She is the champion. We have to leave with this. Paige had a title shot about a year ago.
Yeah.
So there's some people in line. But every time I see Paige, she's like, hey, give me another title shot.
Yeah.
I want another title shot.
What's good?
And anybody who saw it last night, anybody who saw her battle probably agrees she's deserving of one.
Yeah.
If you had to battle Kelsey Lane, handicap it for me. What % chance do you think you'd have to take that belt home?
Ooh, well, here's the tricky part, and I gave Doug advice based on likability because I feel like
Clearly he listened.
he didn't, and
No,
like
of course not.
I literally there is a text message proof that's like, do not go too aggressive in the beginning until you have a foothold because she will take it.
I said the same thing.
Thank you.
I said the same thing.
But I say that as a person who I use likability to my advantage a lot. And it is something that I kind of have in my back pocket that I can do a little, like even on a rebuttal, I can do a little less or I can do self-deprecating and I can turn things to me. I can kind of like absorb a joke a little bit more than some other people can. Kelsey can too. Like that's the really difficult part is because Kelsey can write great jokes, but one of her biggest weapons is that people do like her on stage. I think my only option would be to be more likable than her somehow. Because if you go too aggressive like Doug did, they don't side with you. Yeah. Now, what's really interesting in that battle that we saw is that Kelsey went way more aggressive than she normally does because I think she thought she had to.
Yeah.
And I don't think she would with me. So I would give it 50-50 because I really think it would depend on who played with their likability better.
That's very diplomatic. Who
That
who
was.
thinks Paige would fuck her up? Make some noise. Guys, give it up for Paige Wesley one more time. If you're playing the drinking game, we had 3 more in that one. Our number 1 battle is going to have a lot, so we're going to take a 5-minute break right now. Everybody grab another drink because you're going to have to do some serious drinking in the last one. We'll be back in 5 minutes. So we are back now, RBL Weekly, the number 1 battle this week. And this is actually a little bit tricky. We have standings where different cities get points for producing the best battles. And in this case, our number 1 battle comes to us from Austin, but features no Austin battlers. This is from a big event we did at the comedy Mothership, Joe Rogan's club down in Austin. And we brought battlers from all over the United States. And this battle actually features someone from Denver, one of our newest cities, going up against one of our veterans from New York. So what we decided to do is Austin gets no points. They just exist.
Yeah, they shouldn't get any points.
No, we're going to split the 5 points between Denver and New York. They're both going to get 2.5, which will obviously help both of them in the standings. This was an incredible battle. 2 people, when I booked this battle, I was really looking forward to it because I thought they would match up well, and they certainly did. This is Jake Two Pizza from Denver going up against Divya Gunasekaran. I nailed it. From New York. Here it is. Let's check it out.
Let's roast!
So to be honest, I'm actually a little nervous right now because this is the closest thing to a date that either of us have been on in quite some time. Actually, her dad gave my dad 2 goats and a chicken to arrange this roast battle, so... Well, it made me uncomfortable too, but it's roast battle tradition, okay?
I just want to clarify, my parents would sooner arrange my suicide than make me marry him. I'll try to make this quick. I do know Jake has to get back to brushing his mother's hair. Jake's sperm is actually like the vaccine, because it's a liquid a lot of people didn't want inside them.
Yeah, baby.
And we can't prove it, but there's definitely some autism in there.
You look like you learned how to masturbate from a biology textbook.
Jake's in a band, so give it up for My Chemical Castration. You might also know his side project, System of a Down Syndrome.
Divya Gunasekaran. Your name sounds like a spell from Harry Potter that you would use to give somebody pussy itch.
I mean, you look like you cosplay a Grand Wizard in Harry Potter and the KKK. No, Jake, you look like Clark Kent if his kryptonite were direct eye contact.
That's easy for you to say, Punjabi Margot Robbie. You look like the last Barbie left on the shelf.
You look like you get beaten with your own chastity belt.
Oh, is that it? You know, Divya actually went to Dartmouth College, an Ivy League institution, where she majored in computer science. So I gotta ask, with your background, why would you want to become a comedian when you could have just as easily become a very successful 7-Eleven cashier?
It's funny because I work in tech, but you look like Bill Gates if he named Microsoft after his penis. Jake, if you're here, who's masturbating to a World War II documentary? Thanks.
My grandpa, actually.
I'm glad you have that bonding activity. Jake's last name is pronounced pizza, like the food. And like pizza, he's guaranteed to come in 30 minutes from a teenage boy.
That's how you fucking do it. Keep it going!
All right, make some noise for that battle,
Yeah.
everybody. I know I said winning and losing don't matter, but I'm curious to get everybody's take on that here. Make some noise if you think Divya won that battle. And make some noise if you think Jake won the battle.
Oh,
So
that's
interesting how things translate, because I judged this battle, and Jake won by unanimous decision.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting how in the room, I think it was because Jake didn't have any misses. Like, everything hit, everything got laughs, and Divya had a couple that didn't. The chastity belt thing springs to mind.
And Austin is racist.
And Austin is racist, notoriously, yes. But watching it back, her highs were so high.
Yeah.
I thought she was outstanding. I might owe her an apology for that judgment.
Yeah, if you had asked me, I would have said Divya hands down as well. I thought it was an incredible battle. I thought the first jokes I wrote down, like after the first 3, I was like, these are some of the best brand new jokes I've ever heard. In that, Pat and I have heard hundreds of thousands of roast jokes. A lot of them fall into the same types of categories, even the best ones. So it's it doesn't happen a whole lot that we hear a joke that is 100% unique and new. And the first 3 from both of them out the gate fell into that category, which very much excited me. After that, they kind of felt like the Microsoft whatever. They fell into old patterns. But having 3 out of 5 be brand new is incredible. I was very excited about it.
Yeah, there were some really, really great things there. And we have heard every joke, and that's how we end up with a bingo card. Because we've heard each of these jokes 1,000 times. And there was a lot of originality in the battle. Sometimes I love the jokes where you get to... And my brain doesn't work this way. We've talked about this on the podcast before, where like I can't look at somebody and come up with like a really esoteric thing, but I can recognize when it's great. And when she said, we'll make this quick, I know Jake has to get back to brushing his mother's hair.
Chef's kiss.
That's something like in a million
It was
years
perfection.
I'd have never thought of.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck, he does look like that.
Yeah, he does.
He does brush his mother's hair. What a weirdo.
It was like you look like you were drawn by somebody riding a horse.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Same kind of deal where I'm just like, man, how did you come up with that?
So good.
Yeah, Divya was she was outstanding. We talked earlier about like the camaraderie and sort of like the chemistry between two people. And so often when we take people from different cities who don't know each other, it's a little bit awkward. Well, between that and what we did here last night, I really feel like it's great for the future of the Roast Battle League. 12 cities all across the world. We want to do more cool shit like this where we have people from LA coming to Tokyo and Barcelona going to Austin and everything like that, and New York going to London. It's something that was really, really awkward at first, and I think it's come a long way. What do you think is the future of sort of these international and out-of-state battles?
Oh, man. That's a really hard question. I don't know.
Well, you did one last night.
Yeah.
And you were great.
Thank you.
Right. You guys saw it, right? Make some fucking... Sarah Keller killed it last night, and it was a guy you didn't know that well.
So you're asking... Like, what is the key to success in a foreign, like
what I'm asking, and I apologize for misphrasing it. There were 6 look-like jokes in that battle, so I'm pretty fucked up right now. But Divya and Jake had never met each other before that weekend where they battled. They just had to exchange info. They knew nothing about the other person except what they, sent each other via text. What is the key to taking somebody you don't know that well and still having that chemistry on stage and putting on a great show for everybody?
I think for me personally, it is more than exchanging texts. I have to like FaceTime or Zoom with the person. Like I need to talk to you. I can't just have you send me a list of all your trauma. I need more than that. That's a real thing that people do.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I just copy and paste. I have a whole list.
Yeah, it's like molested at 14. You guys are not into the fact that I was molested. I find it very funny. It's fine, you guys. I thought I was really grown up. No, but I think it's really important to have a real conversation face to face, screen to screen with somebody, get their vibe, because it's very like you can make a joke about someone on stage about something on paper that they told you, that won't play because of who they are in person. So it's really important that you talk to them, you see who they are on stage, who they are in real life. I like to watch a lot of their stand-up videos and or battles, because a lot of what they do on stage also doesn't come across in person. So if they're like a weird, like some people are weird with the microphone and like sway back and forth, or like, it's just important to study them.
Now I'm really self-conscious about how I'm holding the microphone and swaying. I did want to clarify to the Tokyo crowd, the 7-Eleven joke did not hit in the room at all. And it hit so hard in Austin because in Tokyo, 7-Eleven is like a reputable place. It's like really, really nice, and everybody who works there is like a Japanese person who's like highly qualified. In the States, it's just the place where all the Indian people go to work. That is the stereotype. That's why that joke hit so hard. And like the stereotype is like, I was a doctor in my home country and now I work at a 7-Eleven. But here you guys are like, that's a really nice job. What is he talking about? Yeah, so, watching back, it's so funny how things translate differently on video. Watching it back, I think Divya won. Either way, it was an excellent battle. This was a great podcast. It's the first time doing it live. Thank you guys for coming out.
This is way better.
What was your favorite part of this, and then we'll wrap it up.
I just like getting laughed at. I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
Could you guys all come over to Cody's house? That's our producer. When we do it next weekend.
Oh, it's so
just
nice.
The feedback is really good for my ego, you guys. That's
Yeah,
like my
normally
favorite part.
it's just like Sarah talking about getting molested the entire time. It's dead silence.
And the silence is just quiet instead of like I feed off of your silence from it, you know?
Exactly.
The discomfort.
Guys, thank you for doing this. That is a wrap for ROASTFEST 2023. 4 great nights, sold out shows, battles, stand up, RBL Weekly, the podcast. Sarah, tell them where they can find you online.
Sarah Keller 07 on all the things, Instagram, Twitter.
I am the Pat Barker. Appreciate you guys. Follow Roast Battle. Follow Roast Battle Tokyo. Keep coming out to these shows. Keep supporting the Tokyo Comedy Bar. They're doing incredible things here. I was told that this is like the biggest city in the world, and this is the only comedy club in the entire city, which is insane. So make sure you're coming out and supporting everything that they do. Support live comedy. Support the Tokyo comedy scene. To all the new battlers we saw this weekend, thank you for doing it. Come back, do it again. To all the Tokyo experience battlers that we went up against, we love you. Thank you guys for putting on a hell of a show this weekend. And thank everybody for coming out and watching it. Guys, that's it for us. Thank you so much. Have a great night.